Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another Trevor's MMA. And in today's live stream, we're talking about the New England Patriots, baby. And to be completely honest with you, am I surprised that the New England Patriots did what they did to win this game? I'm not surprised. It wasn't a great game. It wasn't that much fun, nor was it an exciting game. It was just one of those games that you watch and you're like, I'm not surprised, baby. I'm not surprised. Because how many people expected New England to win? Everybody. And the reason the New Orleans Saints didn't go to the Super Bowl, because everybody knows that the New Orleans Saints would have won that game. We all know, look at the stats, everybody knows that Drew Brees had a 115 record, like rating, and then Tom Brady had, what was it, 97.3 or 93.7 or something like that. Tom Brady was not playing this year as good as New Orleans and Drew Brees. Drew Brees was in his prime. He's in his prime. He's playing the best he's ever played. And everybody knew if the New Orleans Saints would have went to the playoffs, after they won the playoff game, they would have went to the Super Bowl and won. But you know what's funny? Every team that beat the New England Patriots never made it to the playoffs, never made it to the championship game. That's crazy that last year in the same game, you had the New England Patriots beating the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, ladies and gentlemen, was the team that beat them this year, okay? And they had one of the worst records in their franchise, like 3-13 or something crappy like that. But to be completely honest, everybody said last year the Jaguars got screwed. This year it was New Orleans Saints got screwed. Okay, I'll tell you, there's a lot of better quarterbacks out there. You had Tom Brady thinking he's the best quarterback of all time. No, you had Steve Young. You have Peyton Manning. You have Drew Brees. You have Joe Montana. These are better players than what you see with this guy, Tom Brady, okay? Tom Brady in the past has been known to cheat, deflating the ball. Okay, that's stupid. Then they had that other call where they were cheating, where they said they had some guy sneaking on the other side of the field looking at the other guy's plays. Cheating again. But for myself, I'm not surprised that Tom Brady won for like the sixth time. I'm not really surprised. I'm not putting him down as the best team in NFL. I'm not saying they're the best team ever. I'm saying the Cowboys, the Niners, those were the good old days of the NFL that were great and fun to watch. I just think it's getting to the point that it's so boring that Tom Brady keeps winning and winning and winning. It's like what team's gonna beat this guy? What team? I understand that Tom Brady has a good team around him. He has a good coach. He's doing good for himself. But at the end of the day, do you guys get sick and tired of watching Tom Brady always win every time? Okay, it's like, next year, 2019 season, if you don't put your money on Tom Brady, you're not going to win any money. Okay? Tom Brady is winning every single year. And it's getting to the point, it's ridiculous. It's just pointless. It sucks because you know your team could do better. You know the New Orleans Saints would have beat them. You knew New Orleans would have gave them a hell of a run for the money. You know this. And you know this, man, that New Orleans would have been the team to win. They got screwed, okay? They knew if New Orleans would have won that game, they would have won the Super Bowl. They knew the Rams had no chance. They knew the Rams were a young team. They knew the Rams weren't going to do good. They knew that. So they're like, oh, we're going to screw the New Orleans Saints out of that call. And then the Rams are going to come in and try their best, and their best is not good enough because New Orleans had the highest scoring offense in the league this year. They were dominating teams from bell to bell. They were completely whooping ass. And for Tom Brady, I think it's a setup, sir. I think it's a fucking setup that the New Orleans Saints lost. And a lot of people are like, it is, because that play, how do you not see that play? Okay? How do you still not see that? And you're going to be like, you're just a mad fan. You're just mad that your team didn't win. I'm not giving a shit if they would have won the Super Bowl or they didn't. They just got screwed. How do you not tell me they didn't get screwed? Everybody at my work who are Jaguars fans, because I live in Jacksonville, Florida, and they're Jaguar fans, and they all said, damn, son, the New Orleans Saints got ripped off. If you cannot tell yourself, as a football fan, that they got ripped off, and you cannot tell me that they didn't get ripped off, then you're mistaken, because, to be honest, guys, New Orleans got ripped off. Last year, it was the Jaguars getting ripped off over New England. I'm just saying, as a casual football fan, that I wanted my team to win. Okay, everybody wants their team to win. Everybody wants the Browns to win if you're a Browns fan. Everybody wants the Niners to win if you're a Niners fan. But it's just sick and tired of seeing the same team win over and over and over. I'm the baddest team ever. You ain't the baddest team ever. It's just pointless to see the teams win over and over and over. And you guys could say what you want. Well, until a better team comes along, they're still going to be winning because they're the best damn team ever. It's like the Chicago Bulls. They went like 4 years in a row. It's like in baseball, it was for like a few years, it was the New York Yankees. But to be honest, like I said, when you have a team that is known for cheating, deflating the ball, they had a team that was spying on, they had people that were spying on other teams, so they won. That, to me, tells me that they're not the best damn team ever. But overall, I was not surprised that the New England Patriots won this game. I'm not surprised that they dominated, basically. It's a boring game. Even what was worse was the halftime show with that mumbling rapper guy. I don't even know who the hell it was. Tell me in the comment section below who the hell that guy was. I'm just saying, as a real hardcore fan of, like, I'm not saying I'm like the hardcore fan of football, but as a hardcore sports fan, I'm saying it's sick and tired of seeing the same guy win. Even when I watch, yeah, I don't think the Patriots are the best team. I'm saying, dude, you say, woohoo, the Patriots won. I don't know if you're a Patriots fan, but for myself, it's not, what should I say, not shocking. It's not enjoyable to watch again. Okay, I wasn't even a fan. I'm not even a fan of both teams. I'm a New Orleans Saints fan. They're not the best. I'll tell you this. How many times have they been caught cheating? Remember when Tom Brady was in hot water for deflating the ball? Remember when New England had that guy checking out the other team's plays, and they knew exactly what the plays were going to be and when the plays were going to happen? No, he didn't cheat in this game. I'm just saying, okay, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this. If the New Orleans Saints would have went to the Super Bowl because they got screwed out of that game against the Rams, they would have won the Super Bowl. We all know this year Tom Brady was not playing as good as Drew Brees. The actual records of both of these people, their ratings, their overall stats this year, who was playing better? Was it Brady or was it Brees? Brees was playing better, and Brees, honestly, it got screwed out of that play because, to be honest, like my buddy at work says, they screwed New Orleans out of the victory because they knew they would have won the Super Bowl. They could have beat Tom Brady. If I'll put it this way, maybe not. Patriots won Super Bowl, so that makes them number one. I'll ask you this. How come a team like Jacksonville Jaguars, who has one of the crappiest records in the NFL this year, they were able to beat Tom Brady? They were able to beat Tom Brady, okay? And they have one of the crappiest records in the league. And every team that beat the New England Patriots this year never made it to the playoffs. That's crazy to me, that every team that beat them this year didn't even make it to the playoffs. But the New Orleans Saints get screwed, and they didn't make it to the Super Bowl. And to be honest, I believe they got screwed, and it was a setup for them to lose. So they knew the Rams wouldn't have beat them. So we're going to put the Rams into the Super Bowl, and the Rams are going to win. I believe that. But I will say Tom Brady, they didn't cheat to win this game. They did what they had to do to win. It wasn't one of the most exciting games ever. 13-3, one of the most boringest games, Super Bowls in a very long time. The halftime show sucked. So I just believe overall, guys, that this year's Super Bowl was a very disappointing game, okay? The Rams didn't do that well. Tom Brady and them didn't really do fantastic. It wasn't a high-scoring game. I believe if New Orleans would have went, it would have been a better high-scoring game. It would have been higher scoring than this 13-3. But to be honest, I'm not a fan of either team. But I wanted the Rams to win because I'm sick and tired of seeing the same team win. Tom Brady did enough to win, though, and I give them props, okay? What do? They have, what is it now, 6 wins or something like that in the Super Bowl? Is he the most winningest Super Bowl quarterback? Yeah, pretty much. I say he's a damn good player. I'm not saying Tom Brady sucks. I'm just saying that in the past, they have cheated. That's on record that they have been caught cheating, okay? That's just to say. And my question is for you, if New Orleans would have went, do you guys think it would have went the same way? That New Orleans would have just got to the Super Bowl and lost? Or do you really think that it would have been a different outlook? The game would have been different? I just think the Rams are a young team, and the Rams made it to... It's kind of like, I'll put it like this. The Rams made it to the Super Bowl, and they were like, oh my God, we're here against Tom Brady. They already lost before they got onto the field. It's like, I don't know if you watch boxing or anything. It's like when people used to fight Mike Tyson back in the day, they got up and got into the ring and were like, oh my God, it's Mike Tyson. I already lost. It's the people that fight Floyd Mayweather. They get into the ring and go, oh, I'm just going to compete against this guy. And then they would already lose. Who knows if you want to see that New Orleans needs to... I'm just saying I think New Orleans would have won the game. I just believe, even my buddies who are Cowboy fans and my buddies who are Jaguar fans, they said it would have been a better competitive game if New Orleans would have went. Yeah, I'm just saying they lost. Maybe next year. Well, here's my thing. It's just getting to the point, it's kind of getting boring to watch the same team win over and over and over. I know all sports have a team that wins over and over. You had, in basketball a long time ago, you had the Chicago Bulls winning over and over and over. It got to the point it was repetitive, okay? And when New Orleans, or I should say New England goes to the Super Bowl, you know they're going to win. They have... they have great offense. They have pretty good defense. They have a good coaching staff. I respect them as a team. I just say it's we'll see what happens next year. Yep, that's never gonna change till someone better comes along. Well, I believe, like I said, the team that was better was the New Orleans Saints. And you know, even if you're not a Saints fan and you're a Patriots fan, that call at the end of the Rams game versus New Orleans was a screw job. You know that was a pass interference. You knew that ref could have threw a flag, and the outcome of that game would have been totally different. Maybe the outcome of that game wouldn't have been different. Maybe it would have, because he could have ran the clock down, kicked a field goal, and it would have been Saints versus New England. But it is what it is. I'm just saying, as a New Orleans Saints fan, I thought that's who was going to go to the Super Bowl. That's who could beat them. But all props are given to the Patriots. Patriots did what they did. Patriots won again. We'll see what happens when the new season starts, if the Patriots are going to still be completely dominating, or if the Patriots are going to be completely a lackluster team. We'll see what happens, because Tom Brady is one of the baddest quarterbacks in the league right now, and he's showing it by winning all these Super Bowl championships. He's showing that he's one of the baddest dudes to ever play in the game. He's up there with a lot of legitimate good players. He's up there with the Steve Youngs, with the Joe Montanas, with the Drew Breeses, and all that kind of stuff. But I just believe that at the end of the day, there's got to be some other team out there that can beat them. And it's funny, like I said before, every team that did beat them never made it to the playoffs this year. Every team that beat them this year never made it to the playoffs. And I still wonder, how the hell did the Jacksonville Jaguars beat them this year? And they had a 3-13 record, and they beat them. And last year, it was the other way around. A lot of people said New England cheated to win that game. So until that happens, the Pats will keep... like I said, the Pats are going to keep winning because they're a dominating team. Let me ask you this. Are the Patriots that damn good? Or is it just the fact that they have Tom Brady as their quarterback? And if Tom Brady went to, let's say, the Browns or to Jacksonville, that team would be winning. Is he like the Michael Jordan of his era? Is he like the Michael Jordan of his time? Like, any team that guy plays on, there will be a winning team. Or is it just the fact that it's the coaching, it's the players, and it's all in the package? Because I believe if Tom Brady went to maybe the Browns or to the Eagles or to some other team, would they actually be as good as he is? Or would he be lackluster? Well, they made it to the Super Bowl more than everyone else. Well, you got to look at it this way. What was it? The Cowboys made it like 5 times. The Niners made it 5 times. The Pittsburgh Steelers made it 5 times, if I'm not mistaken. I think, what was it? The Raiders made it like 3 times to the Super Bowl. So they're not. I'm not saying they suck, but I'm saying there's other teams that were historical teams in their time. The Cowboys were historical in the 90s. In the 80s, it was the 49ers. Now, I guess in the 2000s, it's the New England Patriots. But I just want to see another Super Bowl without the Patriots in it. I'd rather see 2 other teams go head-to-head. It's just getting to the point it's kind of boring watching the same team over and over. It's like in baseball, same team. It's like watching a Floyd Mayweather fight. It's the same thing. You know Floyd's going to win. He's 50-0. Well, the other teams need to do... Yeah, that's true, but it just comes down to who's going to beat them. And I don't want it to be a controversial loss by another team. I don't want it to be a controversial win. I want it to be a regular win. Okay, I don't want New Orleans getting screwed to lose. I want it to be legitimately a good game where someone loses like 30-27 or something. That's how I want it to go. That's exactly how it should go. But I knew once the New Orleans Saints lost, the Rams were going to lose because they had no chance in hell to beat Tom Brady. But everybody I know said this game was boring, this game sucked, and the halftime show sucked. I thought it was a lackluster game. It wasn't enjoyable for me, but we'll see next year what happens because I'm really excited to see what teams actually do better this year, this coming season. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars, they could do good this year. I think Tennessee Titans, they can do better. They could make it to the playoffs. The Cowboys, that was a shocker for me that this year they made it to the playoffs. I was shocked that the Cowboys did what they did to get to the playoffs. I was shocked by a lot of teams this year. I was saying, well, I was thinking that the Jaguars, because they did like 13-3 last year, they went to the NFC Championship or Yeah, I think it was the NFC Championship game, and they lost. I thought, okay, they're going to have a winning season this year. But was that a fluke that they did win, and then this year they did lose? That's kind of weird that they had a team that was just completely dominating last year, and then this year they were totally garbage. But it is what it is. Like I said, I was just expecting a closer game. I was hoping a better game than what it was. But you are right. We'll see what happens next year. So I'm guessing are you, okay, let me ask you this. Are you a hardcore fan of the New England Patriots? Because I know a lot of people just jump on the bandwagon when teams win and go, I've been a fan for years. And when they lose, a lot of fans go out of their way and go, I'm not a fan anymore. I've always been a fan of New Orleans Saints since it says I'm a fan, but that's all. I hate football. By the way, it says I'm a fan, but that's all. I hate football. By the way, okay. I'm not even. I'm like I said. I'm a New Orleans Saints fan, and I've been a fan since Aaron Brooks, since like 2000, 2001. That's when I really got into football. Is when I was in high school back in those days playing football, but. It's on to another sport now. It's on to, what is it now? It's basketball and baseball season. So we'll see what happens in those sports because, to be completely honest, the football season's over. Oh, what do you think of, I don't know if you watch any other football. What do you think of arena football? Because arena football starts up in like February and March. So football technically isn't over because you have that arena football league that's going to be playing. But like I said, I'm not really a huge hardcore football fan. If you know me, you watched my channel before, I'm a huge UFC fan. So if you like UFC, we can shoot the shit on that all day because I'm a hardcore UFC fan. You know, the UFC fights, like, I'm a hardcore UFC fan. It says same here. Says same here. Yeah, see, I'm a UFC fan. I love. Realistically, I don't pay attention to much sports. I think UFC is the most exciting sport, the most enjoyable sport, and it's fun. And to be honest, I've called a lot of UFC fights. I've called a lot of people are going to win, people are going to lose, and a lot of people are like, you don't know what you're talking about. Then people lose, and they're like, oh shit, Trevor, you know exactly what you're talking about. It's because I know that sport. I've been watching it for like 20 years, you know. I should be betting on these fights. I should be making that money. If you know Ronda Rousey versus Holly Holmes, if you know who I'm talking about, I called that fight. I was on live stream. It says same here. I've made a lot of cash calling UFC fights, and when I watched the Ronda Rousey fight live, I was on Periscope, and there was about, what is it, like 50 people, and I was saying Ronda Rousey's going to lose against Holly Holmes, and everybody was like, you're stupid, you don't know what you're talking about. Who won that fight? Holly Holmes. And everybody was like, how'd you know that? Because I know Holly Holmes was a better fighter. I called the Ronda Rousey to lose to Amanda Nunes fight. I was like, Amanda Nunes hits like a beast. Amanda Nunes is a much better fighter. And I don't know if you heard about it, but Amanda Nunes says she's going to retire after she fights Holly Holmes. She says she's going to think about retiring. And I'm like, you're in the prime of your career. You're a 2-division champion, and you're going to retire now? What? That's crazy to me. That she just won the 145-pound title, and now she's talking about retiring. People are going to do what they're going to do. No, but it's true. It's just what it is. A lot of people just don't think I know about that sport. But what do you think about Cowboy Donald Cerrone possibly fight? It says, I want to see Brock Lesnar back and take the title from DC. I don't think he could take the title from Daniel Cormier. I think Brock Lesnar is a decent fighter. I think if he would have never went to professional wrestling and went straight to MMA and actually train MMA with a big training camp, he would do better. He's not that great of a fighter. And what we've seen with Brock Lesnar is he's afraid to get hit. Once you hit him like this, the dude is scared. The dude does this, turtles up. He's not scared. He might be bigger than Daniel Cormier, but Daniel Cormier is a better technical fighter, a better overall guy. And look at it this way. Daniel Cormier trained with Cain Velasquez, and Cain was the guy that beat Brock Lesnar with under a minute. He beat him back in the day in like UFC, like, what was it, like 99 or something, whatever it was. He beat him. He made it look easy. And when he was hitting Brock Lesnar in the face, Brock Lesnar was just doing this. Brock Lesnar is a guy, he can land punches and bunches, but he can't take a hit. That's the problem with him. He can't take a punch. He's not like a regular fighter that can take a hit and keep coming forward. No, this is okay. Yeah, he had a lot of issues back then. But did Brock Lesnar look good in his last fight when he fought Mark Hunt? Not really. And he was jacked on steroids or on performance-enhancing drugs, okay, when he fought Mark Hunt, okay? And he didn't look great against Mark Hunt. I'll be completely honest, okay? Brock Lesnar might be good against some type of fighters, but against elite fighters, he didn't really get that beat down, though. I don't really see that. And I think Mark Hunt is a good fighter, but Mark Hunt really doesn't do much. He's just a one-punch knockout guy. And I think if he fights like DC is going to be able to land punches. He's going to be able to stuff takedowns because DC is a higher-level wrestler than Brock Lesnar. DC is about, what, 230, 240? Brock Lesnar's 265. But I do want to see that fight. I do want to see Brock Lesnar versus DC. I really want to see if Brock Lesnar can beat DC. And if he can, he's going to be the baddest wrestler or the baddest guy out there. Brock Lesnar's going to out-wrestle DC. That's a laugh. If Cain, I don't care. If Cain could out-wrestle him, DC hasn't beaten Jones yet. Well, I'll put it this way. Every time Jon Jones has beaten Daniel Cormier, what's happened? He's been tested for TRT. He's been tested for all these drugs, and he's been coming up positive. So he's beaten Daniel Cormier on drugs, okay? He's on the sauce. So is Jon Jones really the baddest man on the planet if he's taking performance-enhancing drugs? I want to see a very clean, sober Jon Jones fight Daniel Cormier at heavyweight and see if he can actually beat him. If he can't beat him at heavyweight, then the thing is, if he's not on drugs, can he actually beat the guys that he was beating? Because to be honest, Jon Jones is a hell of an athlete. He's one of the baddest guys to ever fight. I don't have anything against Jon Jones. It's just I hate guys who are like, I take performance-enhancing drugs. I think Jones will continue to whoop him. It could happen. Jon Jones, it could just be his kryptonite. Because if you look at every fighter that Daniel Cormier's beaten, he's beaten every single fighter from heavyweight to light heavyweight besides Jon Jones. And Jon Jones is the only guy that's ever beaten him. Okay? Jon Jones is a hell of a fighter. Jon Jones is just maybe his kryptonite. Maybe if he goes to heavyweight, Jon Jones will actually lose. But if he does win again and he gets tested and he says he's on drugs, then I say you're just a cheating piece of garbage, okay? I like guys who actually compete and are not on the sauce. I'm not saying every fighter's on sauce, every fighter's not on the sauce, but I'd rather see a clean type of fighter like a Nick and Nate Diaz. Guys who have talent that come in there and they just fight their ass off. What do you think of Cowboy Donald Cerrone going to be fighting Conor McGregor? Now, that's a fight that I want to see. That's a fight that I think is very intriguing to see, a Conor McGregor versus a Cowboy Donald Cerrone, because Cowboy Donald Cerrone, that guy is really a good matchup for Conor McGregor. It says, Brock Lesnar is way bigger and stronger than DC. There's no doubt DC is going to have to pull some crazy shit if he's going to win. Well, look at it this way. Stipe Miocic is a hell of a wrestler, and he lost to Daniel Cormier, and Daniel Cormier cracked him and knocked him out. Okay, I'll put it this way: Daniel Cormier is a higher level wrestler than Brock. He is a higher level wrestler than Brock. Just looking at the levels, one was an Olympic wrestler and one was just a college wrestler. I'm not saying Brock is a shitty wrestler. I'm not saying Brock is a crappy fighter. I'm just saying Brock Lesnar's skill set as a fighter is not that great compared to what Daniel Cormier is. Daniel Cormier has fought harder competition. He's fought the baddest dudes on the planet, and he's beaten everybody besides John Jones. Okay, I think he could take out Brock Lesnar. I think he can make the Brock Lesnar fight and make it look easy. I think he probably wouldn't be able to take him down, but he'd be able to beat him with his hands. I think so. Just like I was saying with the Cowboy Donald Cerrone fight. I think him versus Conor McGregor, that's going to be a fight that everybody wants to see. I knew Conor McGregor was going to lose against Khabib just because of the pure wrestling. Conor McGregor doesn't have great wrestling. Conor McGregor's wrestling is straight garbage, straight trash, and that's why he lost. And because he hasn't fought in like 2 years when he went to that fight against Khabib, Khabib cracked him and almost knocked him out. Khabib is a guy that just murks everybody, okay? But I think Cowboy Donald Cerrone versus Conor is going to be a hell of a matchup because they're both stylistically very similar in their fighting style. So it's going to be great for Conor McGregor to fight someone like that who's going to be basically a stand-up guy that they could just go back and forth. But I don't believe while Khabib's the heavyweight, the light heavyweight or lightweight champion, that he's going to ever have a chance to beat him. Well, Conor McGregor, I won't say he's overrated, but I don't know. I'll put it this way. I think Conor McGregor, his skills have not improved, okay? His skills have not improved, okay? And one thing that he lacks is the cardio. And what does Cowboy have? A lot of cardio, okay? Khabib has one real aspect of his game, and that's realistically his wrestling. And he can beat pretty much anybody on the ground. He's just a beast on the ground. But Conor McGregor, is he overrated? I don't really know. I just think if you pressure him and you wear him out, he really gets tired very quickly and loses. That's just the way it is. You know, you look at Conor McGregor, and if you can take him to the deep waters, he gasses out because he throws every shot to knock his opponent out. He goes for broke every single time. And that's the problem. When you're throwing every power shot to knock your opponent out and you can't knock them out, what's going to happen? You gas out. Why is it like Cowboy Donald Cerrone? Why is it like Max Holloway, Nate Diaz? They throw 40% of their power shots. They're just like this all night because they're throwing half shots. If I land 50 shots on you and you land 2 power shots, my 50 half-ass shots are gonna wear you out more than just me getting cracked twice and then you gassing yourself out. So I think Cowboy Donald Cerrone will be a good fight for him. I think Conor does have the ability to win. I don't even know if Conor has the what should I say, the heart really in it anymore after he won all that money with Floyd Mayweather. I don't know if he really has that drive, that determination to win. I don't really know that anymore, you know? Was he overly too cocky with Khabib? Yeah. Is Khabib just that much better? I don't know. Or was it the fact that he had ring rust? That could have been the thing, too. He had ring rust. You haven't fought in 2 years. There's a difference between fighting in your gym for 2 years and then competing at a high level. There's a whole nother ball game when you're fighting in a cage over fighting somebody else. But I'm going to let you guys go because my phone says low battery with 5%. So I will talk to you guys in the next one. And I want to thank everybody for stopping by and enjoying this video. And Khabib, I'll say this before my battery dies, Khabib looked hell of a lot better as an athlete when he fought Conor, because Khabib doesn't take no shit, okay? Khabib doesn't take anybody's shit. Khabib is a guy, you can talk all the shit you want. Like he says, I'm just going to smash you, brother. And that's all he does. He's been training to smash you since he was a young man. Okay? That's all. He doesn't even care about having the championship. He doesn't care. He just cares about legacy. That's all he cares about. He cares about beating the best guys in the world. And he's beaten like 27 guys in the world. Maybe Khabib hasn't fought the best pound-for-pound guys in the world like Conor has, but he still smashes people because his wrestling is just that damn good. But as always, guys, remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm Trevor from Trevor's MMA, and I'll see you guys in the next one because my phone says 30% battery life, so I don't want to end up dying on you guys. So, as always, thanks for stopping by and enjoying this video. But let me know in the comment section below, will Cowboy fight Conor this year? Hopefully that fight happens because I'm pumped for that fight. I'd rather see Cowboy versus Conor over Conor versus Nate Diaz.